How's it feel to be showing New York Neruda for the first time?
Well, it's fantastic. It's a wonderful festival. I'm a lucky man. I've been here before with other movies, and it's a great opportunity. It's a great place, and I'm sure the audience will connect with with the subject matter. Well, I hope so. I don't know, but we have a good feeling, and it's a good place for arts, for cinema, and let's see how it goes. I don't know.
And how did you come across the subject matter?
Well, Neruda is such an icon for us in Latin America, and especially in Chile, and so making a movie about him is something very organic somehow, very natural, and I also do believe that this movie is not really about Neruda himself. I think more than about his world, about what he created, his cosmos somehow. So it's a more, as we say, a Nerudean movie about more than a movie about Neruda. I'm sorry. So it's like, yeah, let's see how it plays.
So you have two films here at the festival this year, and both of them have already played other festivals. When you heard that they'll be included in the New York Film Festival, what goes through your mind? What makes NYFF special for you?
Well, it's a very unique festival in the entire world. This festival chooses very little movies, amount of movies. I mean, it's just like 20, 22, 23 something are there. And they show them separately, like they choose one day for each movie, which is something very spectacular. So that means that this festival is not for people that comes from other countries, so it's for New Yorkers. So you have to live here. Nobody would come for a festival for a month or whatever it length is, but yeah, and that makes it very special. And also it's a Lincoln Center, I guess, and also the programmers, as people that I know and that I admire for years, the critics, the programmers, the people that is involved on picking the movies. So yes, I can tell you that, for example, last year I did a movie that it was not picked up, and it was very sad and disappointing because it's important to be here, and it makes a difference, and we're glad to have Neruda and Jackie as well. So it's a nice year. See how it goes. See how it connects.
Well, thank you for speaking with us, and have a nice night.
Cheers.
You've worked with Pablo Larraín in the past, and I'm curious what your initial reaction was to this kind of unusual portrait of Pablo Neruda.
Well, I mean, I wanted to work with him, of course, because it's such a nice opportunity to work with him every time. You know, there's something crazy gonna happen. But when he told me what Neruda was about, I was, he always leaves things in a way, like he always tells you the starting point, because we never know. We're gonna know whilst making them what we're gonna do. You know, like what we're, and the take was a very Nerudean world that we kind of embarked on. It is a very complex thing because I mean, it's like Pablo says, like if you're doing a film about the Beatles, and then you're gonna put a song in, you have to do a song like the Beatles will do it, you know. So Guillermo Calderón wrote poetry like Neruda would write poetry, you know, and we would get confused, like we didn't know which one was real one, you know, and it's a huge risk to take, but I'm amazed and in awe on Pablo's amazing, his incredible handling of cinema, you know, how he can put the worst idea, which is to put the written poetry into film, because it's a really bad idea. It's like frosting on frosting, no, it's really bad. But in this film, you actually get it, you know, you actually get to feel the written word inside the magic of cinema, in a sense, and he does it in a way that it's very inexplicable. I mean, I cannot tell. It's better to watch the movie. You know?
The film is played in several other festivals around the world, but what do you hope New York audiences take from this film, especially those who are unaware of Pablo Neruda's work?
Well, I think that this film suits well people that go to the cinema to be surprised. I cannot give them any anticipation on what they're going to see because, I mean, for me, it's a film that there's very few films like this nowadays. It is a film on an epic scale about poetry, and it has many genres in it as well, and afterwards you come out feeling like you've watched a film, you know, a big film.
Thanks for speaking with us. Have a nice night.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, and how does it feel to be bringing A Quiet Passion to New York audiences for the first time?
It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to, the film has so much pain and pathos in it, but it also has so much humor. And I haven't seen the film, even though I've been to a bunch of film festivals all over the world. I've been allowed to sit through it because I've been doing press since Berlin, and that was kind of a laugh riot. So I'm excited about tonight.
You're seeing it for the first time?
Yes, well, the first time in America with an audience, so that's exciting.
So how did you start on this project, and what brought you to work with Terence originally?
Well, I had auditioned for Terence for a film he was putting together that never happened. And so that's when he met me, and then he became interested in the idea of making a film about Emily Dickinson, and luckily I had stayed in his mind, and so he said he wrote it sort of with me in mind a bit, and then he sent me the completed script, and I signed on immediately, and I don't know, it was just a great, I've always felt a real connection to her, a real kinship to her, since an early age, but it was amazing to me that someone else saw that and thought of me for her.
The film is played, you said, in Berlin, amongst other film festivals as well.
Yes.
But what makes NYFF special? What do you think about when you hear that the film will be playing in New York at the New York Film Festival?
Well, it's very prestigious. It's where I live. It's my hometown. I can invite all my friends and family. But also, one of the most exciting things about film festivals is the level of the audience. The people who come to film festivals are people who are students of film. And so it's always exciting whether you're, performing a play or you're screening a film to have a really knowledgeable, interested audience out there.
Well, thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Have a nice night.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be showing New York A Quiet Passion for the first time?
Well, it's always exciting to be here. You forget just how exciting it is, when you're a foreigner. But and everybody's been so kind and so supportive. It's been really lovely.
So, how did you come across the subject matter for A Quiet Passion, and what inspired you to make this film?
Well, I discovered her poetry when I was 18. But I was a bookkeeper then and in accountancy practice. Never thought that I'd ever go to the arts. But about 5 or 6 years ago, I reread the poetry, and the life seemed extraordinary. And I ended up, I think, reading 6 biographies. And I just knew that it was the next thing to do. Because I just love the poetry and the fact that she wasn't acknowledged as a great poet when she was alive. That was a big draw. Because it seemed just so unfair that someone who's a genius was never published. Well, she got 7 or 11 poems published in the Springfield Republican, and that was it. That I just find utterly tragic.
So, with your film, what do you hope audiences get from this? How do you hope audiences? What do you think they will take away from this portrait?
I hope they go away and read her. That's the important thing. She must be read. She's your greatest 19th century poet, and she should be read.
And you've played at festivals all over the world, but what makes the New York Film Festival special for you?
Well, it's I don't know. There's just a sort of excitement in the air. I can't explain it other than that. Each festival has its own atmosphere, and others are very gentle and kind. And here, you just feel a sense of excitement, really, because one forgets when one is a foreigner just how vast the country is. It's just vast, and everything is big, including the food.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with us, and have a nice night.
You're more than welcome.
How does it feel to be bringing A Quiet Passion to New York audiences for the first time?
Well, it's very exciting, and it's obviously a big honour because I've only ever seen a film in Berlin, and this feels much closer to home, because Emily Dickinson was from this side of the world, so it feels like a real honour, and I'm just thrilled it's been so well received so far, so long may that continue.
So, how did you start on this project, and what was it like working with Terence on the film?
Well, he's just a delight from start to finish, really. He was very meticulous and very specific about what he wanted, and it was sort of a joy to play a character that was quite so flamboyant. She's a bit of I think it's safe to say she's a bit of a feminist for that time. So it's a joy to play a character with that much theatricality and joy at the centre of them. So yeah, it's just been a delight, really, all the way through.
So the film is played in several other festivals around the world, but what do you think is special about showing it at the New York Film Festival and bringing it to the East Coast of America?
Well, so, as I said, this feels like it's coming home in a way. It's much closer to home than. It goes to London next week, which is where I'll be as well. But I feel that there's a real special place for Emily Dickinson in this side of the pond, and I hope that people will learn more, certainly on our side of the pond as well, about her and how important she was and continues to be. So this feels so apt, this feels so right, and you can feel already there's like a proper buzz when it comes to anything about her. And so yeah, it's just an honour to be here while that's happening.
Well, thank you for speaking with us, and
Pleasure.
have a nice night.
Cheers, thank you.